Yo, what's up, guys? This is D Brown with Trackheads. I'd like to welcome to the episode of Trackheads. So, I'm in the middle of a session, guys, waiting on my client to show up for his speed training, and I thought it would be a great time to break down this dope video we just saw from the great Gout, right? Hell of a name, just rolls off the tongue, right? The new Australian 200-meter record holder. I mean, he just went 10:04 wind dated. That 20 point was beautiful. Was a beautiful run. So I mean, so many things to talk about, but first things first, guys. One thing that we have to do is make sure that we don't keep comparing this guy to Usain Bolt, right? Again, it seems like every athlete that fits the profile of Mr. Bolt, of the legend himself, Mr. Bolt, we just put him in the same bucket, right? We did that with Lasila Taboho. We did that with Aaron Knight, and not so much because Aaron Knight was his own person. But every time we see a very lanky, light, non-muscular, very like 6'1", 6'2", lanky sprinter who holds his, who's more speed endurance than he is speed. Oh, it's the next Usain Bolt. Every time they show some personality, the next Usain Bolt. We gotta relax. One thing I will say that is real beautiful to watch on the scientific, on the track coach side, is that the way this guy, his angles and his shapes, and the way this guy strikes the ground is so beautiful. I don't know anything about his coach. It seems like he is the lone athlete in Australia that's just killing it. Obviously, Australia has, its own local talent, but I mean, he's been killing it since he was 13 years old. And the fact that he is going through these amazing drops every single year. I mean, he just went 20.6 like 6 months ago. He's 16 years old and he just went 20.0. That is unheard of. I'm very curious to see what he actually does, who coaches him. I know he just signed to Adidas. But, these kind of drops are just insane, especially because, there's a rule out there, right? A rule that's basically, the slower you are, it's easy to drop off chunks of time. But the faster you are, it's harder to drop off. It's harder to drop chunks of time. It seems like he's dropping big chunks, whether he's running slow or whether he's running fast. And it's pretty interesting to watch. And I really hope that he stays healthy. I really hope that he has a good corner in his circle in terms of coaching, in terms of his camp. It was brought to my attention that, Australia is kind of like upside down in terms of their season, right? So right now it's considered the summer season. It's hot. It's the perfect time for sprinting, and that's why he's killing it, why everybody else is training in their base phase. And like I said, I'm very curious to see, is he going to stay in Australia to train? Is he going to move to the United States? He signed with Adidas. Does that mean he's going to be in Adidas's speed camp, or team, which would be with Noah Lyles? I think it would be an excellent addition. Because Noah Lyles does need a push. He needs a profile that's very similar to the younger version of himself, or similar to Boho. And I think it's just very impressive. Another thing I thought that was impressive is that a lot of people didn't really watch, but when Gout, before he had that performance of 10:04 and 20 and some change, which was recently, like in October. This was 2 months ago. In October, he had a low-key 400-meter dash, and he went like 47.5 jogging the last 50 meters. So this guy isn't just a tremendous talent in the 100 and 200. Just like Taboho, he has a potential to run a pretty quality 400, for himself. I mean, we're talking about someone that if he ran it for real, he could probably run a pretty solid 46, a 46, which is really, really impressive for a 16-year-old, right? 46 anything is really impressive. I mean, and if he does the quote-unquote endurance work, or relative endurance work, because I don't want to get killed in the comments about endurance work, he doesn't need to be doing 20-minute runs. That's not what I mean. I mean, his ability to maintain his speed a lot, longer throughout the race when lactic hits, if he's able to improve that, we're talking about 45. I mean, this dude just went 20.0. It's pretty crazy to see that kind of speed on someone that young, the way that he's doing it. I mean, if you saw him push off of that damn curve of the 200, his ability to switch gears is just really, really amazing. So Like I said, we could be looking at someone, everyone knows that Noah Lyles kind of has the pole position when it comes to the 100. We know that he has the fastest time in these past, since Usain Bolt, in 1932, 1931 with the American record. But I don't think enough people are really talking about the fact that we're gonna have the next big three coming up when it comes to the 100, 200. There's really like a lot. There's really like a cohort coming after him of the future. We have Arian Knighton, we have Lasile Taboho, we have Gout, who's not as close. He's still pretty far, but I mean he's someone that in the next 17, 18, 19 years old, he can continue to push. It seems like it's just a domino effect. You have the likes of, you have Kenny Benerick, then Arian Knighton, and then we have Zarno Hughes if he can stay healthy. It's like you have all these guys who are high, speed endurance, top end speed kind of athletes that can hold their turnovers for such a long period of time, and they're waiting to get Noah Lyles the hell out of here, right? And I'm curious, what kind of pressure that's going to put. But honestly, that's the kind of pressure that Noah Lyles may need to push himself, not just in the 100, which is the quote unquote man's race, but also the 200. So let me take a couple steps back because I didn't want this to be a Noah Lyles subject kind of a video, but I just thought it was truly amazing seeing Gout perform the way that he did and being able to shift gears like that in the later part of his 100 of the 200-meter dash. His 100 was also impressive. You see all these coaches talking about, oh, he needs to fix his acceleration and his toes are down and he's not hitting the proper shin angles. You find me another 16-year-old that can go 10-0 anything, then holla at me, okay? Then holla at me. You can't tell that man that his acceleration isn't on point. I think people need to know that not everyone's going to be Christian Coleman. Not everyone's going to be Trayvon Bromell. Some people, it takes them a while to get started. They said the same thing about Usain Bolt. Yet that man was running 9:58 in 19.19. So, does he need to fix acceleration? I don't think it needs to be fixed. I think it's going to increase as he gets stronger because he's only 16 years old. His best ability is his elasticity, right? His ability to maintain momentum after he builds it up, and his ability to hit ranges of motion that other people cannot. As people are decelerating, he's decelerating the least because he's so damn elastic. It's beautiful to watch him run. If he was a great accelerator, like Christian Coleman, he will fall apart at the end of his race if he's not elastic enough and he's not able to hit those angles. So people got to relax when it comes to, just because he's not in the lead by the first 10 meters, all of a sudden he's a bad accelerator. No, you don't run 10-0 anything and 20-point anything being a bad accelerator. It just needs to be improved. It just needs to be it just needs to be a progression of that. So like I said, guys, I thought it was pretty dope to see that video. It's really great to see young talent. I just hope that he stays healthy and they don't run him to the rails. But I mean, he's in Australia. He can have a 10-year career. There's not really a lot of quote unquote world-class talent out there. So hopefully he's able to work his butt off and reach heights that no one has ever seen for the country of Australia. So with all that being said, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching. This is Steve Brown with Trackheads. Peace.